Hey everybody, welcome back to the AME television show. I'm your host, Jason Dowd. I got a great show for you guys today, and you know what? It's getting towards Halloween, so I am excited. That's my favorite time of year, well, one of my favorite times of year, but it starts off the holiday season. I am a holiday buff. I love Halloween, I love Thanksgiving, I love Christmas, and it's all coming up here in just a few weeks. The leaves are starting to turn colors depending where you live. I live in Florida. They don't turn color, they just die and fall to the ground. However, I am starting to get into the holiday season by decorating for Halloween for really the first time ever. I've never really done it before. Despite the fact that I absolutely love it, despite the fact that everything that you see in my photographs kind of get deep into that Halloween evil spirit, you know, but I've never done it myself. So I'm really excited to be able to decorate my house a little bit for Halloween this year. Now, I have a couple of great guests coming on, and we're going to be talking to them in just a few minutes. And I hope that you guys are getting ready for this holiday season, and I hope that you guys are really excited to talk to our guests today. Now, what I want to talk to you today about, and it's a challenge. I want you to be able to go on there and comment about these things that I'm going to talk to you about. You know, when I was growing up, there were certain television shows or certain types of music, songs that would it really brings back great times in my life. One of those guests today are going to be here, and I'm going to give you that question right before we talk to him. So, right now, go check out our website. It's www.theamemagazine.com. Be inspired. See what we have. If you miss something, it's right there. We have all of the great guests that have come on here and talked about everything that they have going on in their lives and showing you that you can do it too if you just put a little passion and inspiration behind it. Once again, it's www.theamemagazine.com. So, our first guest, I'm really excited about it. I know you're going to love this interview. We have Chloe Perrin coming on. She's 11 years old, and she's a scream queen. You know, she's so much fun. You guys are just going to absolutely love her. We've talked to her about her brand new movies called Itsy Bitsy and Mary. Now, these are really scary movies, and one of them is about spiders. One of them is about a ghost. So, I think you guys are going to have fun with this. It's right in time for Halloween, and these movies are actually premiering this week. So, go check them out. Let's go talk to Chloe right now, have some fun, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Hey guys, we are back, and we are talking about Halloween horror movies. Some of my favorite things in the world. Everybody knows I love a good scare. And I've got one of the actresses in 2 scary Halloween movies coming out. One of them is called Mary, and she plays Mary in the film. And then she's also in Itsy Bitsy, which is going to be coming out in a little bit. Her name is Chloe Perrin. Welcome to the show. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So tell me a little bit about yourself before we get into the movies and stuff. When did you start acting? I mean, you're pretty young already. How long have you been in it already?
Well, I've been in the industry since I was 3 years old. I booked my very first role as Ella in an American Heart Association industrial.
Wow. That's really cool. Now, is this something you wanted to do, or did your parents try to get you into it and just something fun to do?
I've always wanted to do this.
Really? So what was the first thing that you saw that made you want to become an actress? Was there a television show that you saw, or was it a movie?
I actually just wanted to be an actress from the start, and I watched a lot of movies that made me get into it.
That's cool. So what do you like the most about entertaining people?
I like the most about entertaining people is they can see my talents and they can see how good my acting is.
Well, I like that. Now, we all have these roles that we want to play. You know, maybe a character, something really fun that you just dreamed of playing. What would that character be for you? Would it be a superhero? Would it just be a typical person stuck in a situation? What would you like to play if you had the chance to play your ultimate role?
if I had the chance to play my ultimate role, then I'd probably want to be in a horror movie. I'd,
Well,
prob- I'd probably want to be the victim in a horror movie.
Horror movies are fun, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really fun.
I got my start in art doing horror photography, and I love that you can do so many cool things with the costumes and the special effects makeup, and it's as creative as you want to be.
Yeah, it totally is.
Now, you've been in 2 horror movies at this point in time. Did any of them scare you when you saw some of the stuff happening and you had to act it out? Did it kind of scare you a little bit?
No, I don't think it scared me because we were behind the scenes and I saw everything that went on, and I know that it was just special effects and makeup.
So do you get scared over anything? Is there anything that really freaks you out?
Not really.
Nice. I like that. It's just like me. Where I live here in Tampa, Florida, we have Busch Gardens where they have like a horror. I think it's called Howl Scream, and in Universal Studios in Orlando, they have Halloween Horror Nights. And every time we go there, everybody tries to scare me, but I am like stone cold. Nothing bothers me, and it drives everybody nuts. Because they cannot get to me. Are you like that too?
Yeah, but sometimes I've been to haunted houses before, and sometimes I get scared in them because of the jump scares.
Yeah, I could see that. Now, have you ever been into a real haunted house? Like a real haunted house, a real ghost or anything like that?
No, I haven't been to a real haunted house before, but I like the fake ones just as much.
That's true. At least in the fake ones, you're not going to get hurt. Just a
Yeah.
little scare. So tell me about these movies that you're in. This sounds really fun. You play Mary in the film Mary. What's Mary all about?
So Mary is about a family that buys an old charter boat to start a business. And so they get out to sea and strange things start happening.
Now, as Mary, are you the one haunting them, or are you a part of the family that seems to attract all these types of things?
I'm a part of the family. I play the victim.
You play a victim. Wow. So, what was the funnest part of this role for you?
I think being able to meet Gary Oldman, because it's such a big honor getting to meet such a big star. And I was honestly amazed that I had the opportunity to be on with him.
That's
and he
cool.
plays my father.
That's cool. Now, I think he's won Emmy. Was it an Emmy or Oscar? I can't remember.
Oscar.
An Oscar. There we go. Yeah, he won an Oscar. So do you hope to someday be just as good as him and maybe get an Oscar for one of your roles?
I hope to be better.
Better? Oh, I like that. You shoot for the stars. That's great. So what were some of the things about your character that you liked and some of the things about your character that you didn't like?
Some of the things that I liked about my character is how sweet she was.
What didn't you like about her?
What didn't I like? I thought she was an okay character. There was nothing about her that I didn't like.
That's cool. Sometimes we have the ones that we like. Sometimes we have things that we don't like. But I guess that's in any type of situation in life. You're always going to find somebody that you like, and there's always going to be something that maybe just rubs you wrong a little bit about them. But that's just life, So it's I'm glad that you liked everything about the character. Now, Mary, what is the draw for her in this movie? Because obviously you're the role that the movie's named after. So what is it about Mary that seems to get the name for the movie for? What does she have special?
So I think what makes the movie named after her is because later on in the movie, Mary begins to have visions of ghosts that are on the ship. And she becomes friends with a ghost named Tobias, and she can see these ghosts. And I think that, it's because the boat is linked to her because her name is Mary.
Okay. Now, who played the ghost on this movie?
Um, the ghost's name was Tobias, and the person who played it was called, I kind of forgot his name.
It's okay. So how did they play it? Were you sitting there physically with him while you're acting it out, or was it like in front of a green screen and they like imposed him later?
We were physically acting with each other.
Okay, that's cool. So I see that Mary's going to be coming out on October 11th, which is kind of right in time for Halloween, which is good. What else are you expecting for this movie? Are you going to be doing any premiere signings? Are you going to go to the premiere for it and do some autographs and stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the premiere and do some autograph signing.
Where is the premiere?
There's no I don't know actually.
It's not set up yet?
No.
It'll probably be in LA. Are you guys in LA? Is that where this film is based out of?
It was actually made in Alabama.
Okay.
And I think it's going to premiere in LA, but we are currently in Texas.
That's cool. Now tell me a little bit about Itsy Bitsy. This sounds like a really cool movie too. What's this all about?
Okay, so Itsy Bitsy's about a family that moves into the countryside after the mother of the family got fired from her job, and she gets hired for an old man who collects artifacts, and someone breaks into the house and smashes an egg artifact, and inside that egg is a spider, and the spider is huge. So it goes into the family's house, and the youngest girl, which is me, goes into the attic to explore, and she gets taken by the giant spider. And the family must take me back and escape.
Wow. You know, I'll let out a little secret. I'm not scared of really anything, but spiders freak me out. I have literally slammed the brakes on my car and jumped out in the middle of a road for a spider that was about the size of maybe the tip of a pencil lead. I hate spiders. And I hate clowns, too.
Oh, yeah, clowns are really scary, but I'm the same way with spiders as with cockroaches. I think that they're really gross, and I can't stand them.
So you like spiders more than cockroaches, or cockroaches more than spiders?
I like spiders more than cockroaches because spiders are kind of cute, as long as they're not poisonous.
Right, that's true. So, what was your role in this particular movie?
I played Cambria, which is a little girl who gets taken by the spider because she wandered up into the attic looking for stuff.
Now, taken by the spider, how? Are you taken to like another realm, or is it kind of like Stephen King's It, where you're like taken to like this weird spot, and it's like where he keeps all his victims?
Well, I get tangled up in the spider's web and I can't get out.
Okay.
And my brother finds me and tries to cut me free.
Now, if you are scared of spiders, like you kind of are, was that a weird feeling being stuck in a spider web like that?
Kind of. I mean, what do you mean weird feeling?
Well, you know, like it just gives you the EBGBs. You know, it's like if you touched a cockroach, you'd freak out. You know, so if you were like stuck in this web, knowing that there could be a spider there, even though it's fake, it still goes through your mind. You know what I mean? So it's like it just gives you the feeling that you're stuck in a real spider web. Was that a little weird for you?
I didn't feel anything like that because I kind of knew it was fake because it didn't feel real.
Okay.
It wasn't very sticky.
It wasn't very sticky.
No. Real cobwebs stick to you.
They do, aren't they? They're crazy. It's hard to get them off. But you know what? There's nothing that turns somebody into a ninja faster than walking through a spider web. If you know what I mean. You're like, oh, you know. Exactly. Well, this movie's coming out on 10/1 on actually 8/30, which is August 30th on video on demand. It's also coming out on DVD. Are you going to get a copy of the video yourself for your own collection?
Yes, and I actually own a copy of the poster too.
Sweet. Where do you keep the copy of the poster? Do you have it framed?
Yes, I have it framed in our studio.
Nice. Well, I heard from a little birdie that you can be a little bit of a scream queen. So that means you have a pretty good scream for these horror movies. Do you have a good scream?
I'd say so.
You think so? How did you develop it, or did you just kind of find out the hard way that you have it?
I just found out the hard way that I have it.
Now, when you found out about it, was it something that scared you, or was it during an audition where you had to scream?
It kind of surprised me, but it wasn't during an audition. Yeah, it wasn't during an audition. I just learned I could scream like that, and I was like, whoa, that's a really creepy scream.
Well, you know what? Once you have it, you never lose it, and that scream will probably take you very far inside of a horror movie from the future. So keep that up. Don't lose that tool. That's going to be very valuable for you, especially if you want to be in the horror film industry.
I will not. I promise.
Good. I'm going to hold you to that. And I am so excited that you were able to come here. Thank you for coming on today and sharing some of your experiences on these movies. Let's learn a little bit about you really quick and stuff like that, because I think people like to do that. What do you do for school? Are you homeschooled? Do you go to public school, or do you do school on sets and stuff?
Yeah, I do homeschool, and I also do school on sets.
What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math? Oh.
I was rehearsed to say that.
You rehearsed to say that. I love it. So I was never good at math. I was really good at English, but I was never good at math. So I see that.
I'm really bad at English.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least you're not more bester at it, because that would be bad. And what do you like to do for fun when you're not acting?
I like to do art and swimming, and I also like to read.
And what type of do you have any pets? And if so, or if you don't, what's your favorite type of animal that you'd have for a pet?
I have 3 pets actually. 3. I have a cat and 2 dogs.
What kind of dogs?
My dogs, one of them is a dachshund and the other one is a Chiweenie, which is half Chihuahua, half Wiener dog.
I got a dachshund myself, and I'll tell you what, once you have a dachshund, there's something about it. Everything in your life is dachshund after that.
You lose control of your house. It belongs to the dog now.
It does.
You do not own the house anymore.
It does. Well, I think that's all we got for us today. I appreciate you for coming on here and talking to me about everything, and learning a little bit about you. And I hope to be able to get you back on here for more stuff, because you are just so much fun. I'd love to have you back on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
If you like the show today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share, and comment below. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook at The AME Experience, also Twitter at The AMEEX, and of course you can find us at www.theamemagazine.com.
What do you want? You want Gladys Goodies? You want to try chicken? How about turkey? You want to try turkey? You never tried sweet potato before. How about we give you a sweet potato? It might help your stomach. You do? Well, there's only one place to get it, and that is GladysGoodies.com, where you can get the chicken, the turkey, the sweet potato, salmon, beef, and more. Should we show them the website one more time so they know where to get it? Well, I'm going to listen to puppies, so here's the website. If you want all natural, healthy treats with no chemicals, byproducts, or other harmful ingredients, GladysGoodies.com is the place for you. We got the treats and the swag to make their tails wag. Okay, we are back. I hope you guys really enjoyed Chloe. Wasn't she so much fun? She's so cute. And I'm so glad we were able to have her on. I can't wait to see what she's got going on for her over the next couple weeks and months and years. I want to see her grow, and I think we're going to do that, and I think we're all going to be really impressed with what she has to come out with. So did you think about my question earlier? What music, what television show kind of brings back great memories for you when you were a child? I do want to hear that, so please write that down in the comments below. Our next guest is the reason why I want to talk to you about this. We have Sharon and Bram coming on. They were part of the Sharon, Lois, and Bram trio that created the Elephant Show on Nickelodeon. Now, when I was a kid, this happened to be one of my all-time favorite shows. I loved this show. When I would come home early from school, sometimes we had half days. The only way I got Nickelodeon was at my grandmother's. Now, I always went over to my grandmother's house on Friday, but when we had half days or whatever, I would go over there during that day until my grandfather was able to bring me home later that afternoon. And when I would come in there, it was always at noon when I got out, so I always got to watch the Elephant Show with my grandmother. And I had so much fun with it. And they were known for the song Skinamarink. Actually, it's Skinamarinky Dinky Dink, as if you probably heard it. And it's such an iconic song. And my grandmother would sing that with me. We would do all the little dances for it. And, you know, that brings back such great memories. And I hope that you have one of those too, because they're just so special, especially if you were able to share it with your family and friends. So, we have Sharon and Bram. Unfortunately, Lois passed away, so she's not able to join us. But you know what? This legendary children's song trio and entertainer group is timeless. They have a brand new book out, and they also have actually, the book is called Skinamarink, and they also have some new music coming out. So I'm so excited that after all of these years, they're still doing what they love to do. They are still inspiring children. And you know what I love about their music? It's not your typical children's music. And I'll let them explain that to you. Now, we did have a little slight problem with the video. Unfortunately, we got through them on Skype, and it cropped them a little bit. So, unfortunately, I have half of one and half the other one in the video, and I'm not going to show it like that. So what I will do is I'm going to put up a bunch of photos of them in costume with the elephant and so much more. So let's go talk to some of my favorite performers of all time, Sharon and Bram. Hey everybody, we have on Skype video a very special couple here. They have been around for as long as I can remember, and they have brought so many amazing memories to me as I was growing up. They are Sharon, Lois, and Bram, but today we have Sharon and Bram. And they are, I remember them on The Elephant Show on Nickelodeon. Was one of my favorite shows I used to watch. Now they have some brand new music out, and they also have a brand new book out called Skinamarink. And we're going to learn all about this and more.
We're going to have to teach you how to say that.
Yes, you're going to have to. And I can't learn from, I can only learn from the best, right? So we'll have to do this.
So welcome. The book is called Sharon, Lois, and Bram's Skinamarink.
Skinamarink. Oh, I wrote it wrong. I can redo this introduction if you'd like.
No.
We have corrected people on the pronunciation of that word for 40 plus years. It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun mouthful.
A lot of people for their whole lives have thought it was Skinamarink.
It is not.
It's not.
S-K-I-N, Skinamarink.
Well, I got one question for you. How did you come up with a word like that?
We did not come up with it.
You didn't?
It is a song. It was a song. It is a song. And Lois learned it the year 1978. She learned it from her young cousin, Lisa, in Chicago, who taught it to Lois because she had learned it at camp. And Lois brought it back to us. And we thought it was a charming song. So we put it on a record. And we ended our first concert singing that song and thought, that's a really good idea. And ever since then, we have ended everything we do. A song, a concert, a record. It always ends with Skinamarink.
But on the first recording of it, we had no idea that it was going to be as much a part of our lives as it is. They didn't even let me sing on it. Sharon, Lois did the melody, Sharon did the harmony, And I played the ukulele part on the high string guitar, but you didn't hear my voice in that song until the end of the first concert.
And then forever.
Well, I'll tell you what, I could not see you guys without associating that song with you. That's how iconic it's been.
I think that's quite wonderful. And there are a lot of people who know the song, but don't really know where it came from, that it came from us. But that's okay, because the song carries a lovely message, and if people are singing it, we're happy. And the book, of course, carries a much broader message. Why don't you tell him?
Yeah, I'd love to learn about the book.
Okay, I didn't know she was going to do that. The song is short. Mm-hmm. Gonna make a ding ding, and I love you, and basically that's it. And it's not book length. And we thought it'd be really nice to make a book of it, but any book made from that song would be a pamphlet. Randy Hampson, who is Sharon's daughter, is also a lawyer and a musical person, very much so, and has been managing us for the last
couple of years.
She said, let me have a hand at writing an introduction and some extra verses for it. And she did. And we thought, okay, well, we'll give her a try and see what happens. And she came up with great stuff, beautiful words that are covering all the bases about how many different ways there are and how many different situations you can be in when you love somebody, and all sorts of seasons and people. It's quite lovely.
It's quite lovely. And we've been singing it in our shows for the last year. We recorded it, and it will soon be out on recording. But we've been singing it in the shows, and the audience gets to sing the parts that they know. They get to hear the new parts, and it's quite wonderful. It's quite successful. And the book is a thing of beauty. We worked with a wonderful illustrator. Her name is Chin Lang, and the book, her illustrations reflect the kind of diversity that the words of the song reflect. And you see it in the pictures and in the drawings and in the people. And we're very proud of it. And we're hearing great things about people's response to it.
So what's the age range for the book? Is it young adult? Is it meant for kids? Because I know you guys do a lot with kids. Adults, who can enjoy it? Can everybody enjoy it?
We are finding that our age range is much wider than we kind of thought that it might be. I mean, they've taken this song and sung it at weddings. You know, when you have to want the bridegroom to kiss, and you have to sing a song with the word love in it. That's like #1 of those songs in weddings all over North America.
The book is really a lovely book for children, because they can learn to read, they can sing it, they can learn about reading, they can look at the pictures. The pictures are full of surprises. Every time they go through it, they're going to find something new and delightful to be charmed by. But they're all the 30-somethings and older who grew up on us. And you can believe they are buying that book because it's part of their wonderful nostalgic history.
That's me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so, you know, it's primarily a book for children, but people who grew up on us want that pleasure as well.
Absolutely. Now, what got you into working with children anyways when you guys started out?
Well, I'll start. I was singing folk songs for adults, young adults, during the folk music boom during the 60s, which was a long time ago. And I started to do guitar accompaniments for a very famous in Canada folk singer named Alan Mills. And he was on the road going to places in Canada and the United States. He needed a guitar, so he didn't pay. And he did concerts of all kinds. He did concerts for university kids. He did concerts for general adults. But also he did concerts for children. And he was really good at it. He was good at it the same way that Pete Seeger is good at getting people to sing with him. Mm-hmm. And I got a taste of it from that. And I think between him and Pete Seeger, I thought, kids are a wonderful audience. They're honest. They sing out, and they don't hold back. And I spent a number of years as a school teacher, so I was well grounded in working with kids.
For me, it's a short story. I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of singing together, and people making music together, mostly folk music, was a natural for me. And I also had a real affinity for children. I belonged with young children, and I started as a folk singer, as Bram talked, singing in the coffee houses. But I really just kind of fell into working with children, and ultimately we all belonged to an organization called Mariposa in the schools, which put individual performers like us and Lois into the schools on a freelance basis. You'd go in for a day and sing with, 4 or 5 classrooms of children. And we learned a lot doing that kind of music. And ultimately, we decided to make a record of music for children. We did not plan to start a career as a trio. We just planned to make that one record together. But the response to the record launched the career.
Talk about getting really, really unexpectedly lucky.
Absolutely.
Because we had no idea,
No.
as Sharon said.
Well, I remember coming home from school, and I get home like around 2:00, and I would go in there, and my grandmother had taped it for me, your show.
Nice.
And so I got to watch your show, and summertime I got to watch it live. So because she had Nickelodeon, I didn't have Nickelodeon where I was. So I didn't get a chance to see it at home, but every Friday, my grandmother had them taped for me, and I loved it. And those are memories with her. I cannot. They're extremely valued to me. They're priceless.
They're forever.
Did she watch them with you?
She absolutely did, and she used to sit there and do the dance with us too.
It's interesting to me. I love your story. You are not the first person who has told me about watching the Elephant Show with his grandmother. That I've heard that story a number of times, and you hang on to those memories. They're forever.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with a few things, 2 of which are, number one, we chose all of our material not to be kiddie songs. Right. We chose them to be good songs that were accessible to children. Right. And so we did a lot of things that were kind of a surprise. And, written originally for adults, but we thought kids are going to get into this too. So the kids like it. So the parents and the grandparents, they like it too. And they love to watch the kids get as involved as they do. It's a double entertainment for them.
That was one thing I did find out that I loved about your music too. It wasn't always like the typical kid songs. Like some of them, you sit there and listen to them, and it drives you insane. And it's like, how could you listen to that all day long? But your stuff you could listen to, and adults loved it too. Yeah. Even my grandfather would sit there, and if it wasn't Christian music, he didn't listen. But he sat there with it and watched. So if he sat there and watched it, it had to be good. That's just the way it was.
Christian music from us. We sang a song. It was an old Shaker hymn, "Simple Gifts." 'Tis a gift to be simple. And we once had a complaint from someone who said, she phoned our office and said, you shouldn't be singing a song that says it's a gift to be sinful. Sinful, which we did not do, of course.
Wow.
And usually when you get a heavy phone call like that, there's only one way to deal with it. And that is get on the telephone.
Oh, call them back, of course.
Call them back.
It was a different.
Often I did that, but in this case,
I did it.
Sharon did that.
Because that was my song.
She explained the difference, and it was like a never mind.
We should tell you about the new music that we've recorded. Bram and I have been singing without Lois. Lois stopped singing in around 2000, I think. Her husband died he died in 98, actually.
Yeah.
98. So she just stopped in 99 or 2000. She just didn't want to do it anymore. And she didn't have the heart for it. But we stayed connected to Lois, and we're very, very good friends, of course. And she died 4 years ago. But Bram and I have been singing without her for the last 20 plus years, or 20 years, I guess. And we had not recorded since the trio recorded many years ago. And a couple of years ago, my daughter, who was managing us, thought it would be nice for us to record. And Bram said there was a song that my husband had written that he really wanted us to record. And that grew into, I think, 6 or 7 songs that my husband...
We said, let's do a Joe Hampson retrospective, because he wrote terrific songs. He did many things really well. One of them was songwriting. And they had been recorded before, but they had been kind of put to one side and forgotten about. And I thought that they were too good to be forgotten. And so we've re-recorded them in our voices.
And they're streaming, cool. And they're downloadable. One of them is called The Colors Song. That was the first one that Bram was intent on us doing, because it's about homonyms.
It's wordplay.
It's clever. He's a word guy.
The book was read, but it wasn't read.
R-E-D, R-E-A-D. So Bram loves stuff like that. So we did that, The Color Song. We did the Hug Song, which is about hugging. And I think we're living in an era now where hugging is a really good thing, and lots of people need it. And there are a couple of peace songs, talk about peace, and everybody's talking. And a song about it's okay to be different. It's called It's All Right. It's called.
Is there anything wrong? Is there anything that?
How could anything be wrong with being different? It's all about differences and how boring it would be if there weren't differences. Yeah. And one other, which is called the drum song, which is about drum sounds. We're just working on that one now. And Skinamarink, of course. We've got a new version of Skinamarink.
Joe didn't write that, but he arranged it originally for us.
Yeah.
I was just struck with something. There's been a movement around for the last few years that, especially in teachers and classrooms, children, you don't touch the kids.
Right.
Because it could be interpreted as sexual or as an assault. And so a lot of genuine emotions that are expressed by a touch on the shoulder or a tussle in the hair
or a hug.
Or a hug.
And kids who need hugs and they don't get them.
And it's against the law in some places.
And it is. I mean, I believe in protecting, obviously, but I also believe in the need for demonstrative affection. I know, I mean, sometimes a kid will say to Bram that he or she wants a hug, and he'll ask the parent. Yeah. You have to do that now.
I ask the kid sometimes when we're talking. I said, do you mind if I put my hand on your shoulder? You got to check it out. It's weird.
It's a lot of spontaneous affection is not happening.
Yeah. That's true. And sometimes, those kids, that might be the only hug that they get.
Exactly.
It's hard to believe, but that it is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was so excited to see that you guys put out some more music. Like I said, I grew up on your music, and I am so glad that my kids are going to be able to experience that new stuff now too. Because I think they need to see performers like you. They really do.
That's wonderful. Thank
you. The thing is, there aren't a lot of performers like us. A lot of the people who are doing music for children are perfectly well motivated, but they think that they've always got to be teaching.
Mm-hmm. And we resist that. We never have chosen songs for the purpose of teaching a lesson. We've always chosen songs because they mean something to us, and there may be lessons learned from them, but not because that's the goal. The goal is, here's the music, take it into your life, make it your own, you got it forever.
That's fantastic. And I think that's why you've been so timeless too.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on here. How can anybody follow you, see what you guys have coming out? If you're touring anywhere, obviously get your book and your new music, see the old stuff. Where can they do it?
Well, we do have our website has been updated. It's sharonandbram.com, and everything that you need to know is there.
Well, I think this is going to be so much fun. I showed my wife the other day. She got excited. She teaches daycare. So,
that's lovely.
This is the kind of stuff that we just enjoy. You guys have been iconic in my lifetime, and you've helped me create memories that I can never replace. And I can't thank you guys enough for that, and I cannot wait to see you doing that for the rest of the generations to come.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Means a lot.
You're welcome. And guys, we have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, about 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
If any other industry tried to do something like this, they'd go to jail.
Stuart Venner helps people out of timeshares. He warns we're pawns.
Yes, we are.
Venner says timeshares lose so much value they're nearly worthless when buyers opt to sell.
If you can get anything, it's really a miracle.
When there aren't any nibbles, Venner's tried giving deeds back to developers, but he says they refuse.
They're telling people it's worth $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, and I offer it to them for nothing, and they don't want it back.
Finance guru Dave Ramsey goes farther, labeling timeshares one of the biggest scams to.
Are you stuck with a timeshare? Did you attend the presentation and were seduced and enticed into buying that great vacation and investment? Now you're in the terrible position of trying to figure out a way to get out of that mess. You're not alone. For over 15 years, BuyYourTimeshare.com has been helping people like yourself get out of timeshare ownership. The fact is there is no resale market. Unscrupulous telemarketers call you and say they have buyers waiting, and the next thing that happens is you give them hundreds of dollars for an ad, and you'll never hear from them again. Another fact is that an identical timeshare to yours is being offered on eBay for $1, and no one is buying it. If you want out of your timeshare, I urge you to go to BuyYourTimeshare.com or call them at 877-94-HELP-ME. That number again is 877-94-HELP-ME. BuyYourTimeshare.com. That's BuyYourTimeshare.com. 877-94-HELP-ME. 877-94-HELP-ME.
All right, everybody, we are back. We're closing out the show. I'm so glad you spent some time with me today. You know, I love doing this. I love going on all these adventures. I love talking to such amazing people, giving you point of view adventures. That's what this whole AME television show is all about. But we're not just limited to what we're talking about with arts. We're also going to bring in politics. We're going to bring in different points of view. This is really an eclectic show. So I hope you continue to tune in because we've got some more guests coming up in the near future. So before you go, check out our websites, www.theamemagazine.com. When you're there, you'll be able to see all the links to all of our shows, the radio, television, and magazine. If you miss something, it's there. Go be inspired. You can also see the links to our social media networks, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also sign up for our newsletter and download our apps on our Apple or Android platform completely free so you can see what's in the know and have the AME experience in your hands at all times. So until then, guys, we have more coming up. I know you're not gonna want to miss it. Keep checking the website to see who we got coming out, and keep those creative juices flowing. We'll see you on the next adventure.
If you like the show today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share, and comment below. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook at The AME Experience, also Twitter at The AMEEX, and of course you can find us at www.theamemagazine.com.
Like, OMG, you were on TV and junk.